Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Homeopathic Super Sessions by Dr. Jagos. Today, we'll be doing the next video on the types of logic. So this is the first part of it. So let us see what this video has in store for us today. Well, there are different types of logic. It is divided into two main groups. That is the inductive logic and the deductive logic. Deductive logic is also known as the pure or the formal logic. So today in this video, we will be doing a part of inductive logic. That's the first part. So in order to understand inductive logic properly, let us see who introduced inductive logic. It was introduced first by Lord Francis Bacon, and it was supported by John Stuart Mill. So, as you all know, during Hahnemann's time, everything was based on a conjecture, hypothesis, or on false statements. It was because of Lord Francis Bacon, who was a founder of the truth, who believed in truth. He took away all the misconceptions, all the false conjectures, which was rampant during Hahnemann's time, and he introduced the word inductive logic. So inductive logic, it deals with the truth or the facts. Francis Bacon, the full form is Francis Bacon Viscount St. Alban, but it is commonly called as Sir Francis Bacon. So he is commonly known as Sir Francis Bacon. He was born on 22nd January 1561 at York House in London, England. He died on 9th April 1626 in London at the age of 65 years. He was an English lawyer, statesman, essayist, historian, intellectual reformer, philosopher, and champion of modern medicine. So you could see he was a very educated man and very intelligent man, and he had many qualities within him. He laid to rest the chaos which was rampant during the Hahnemannian era. So I told you, during the Hahnemannian era, most of the you can say information was based on a false theory, a hypothesis, or a false conjecture. Or the physicians during that time, which were mainly of the other school, they had many theories within them or with them, and they started propagating these theories or the practice of medicine in different ways, like allopathy, enantiopathy, antipathy, isopathy, totopathy, and so on. So as you all can see, all these different systems of medicine, they had a certain hypothesis or a postulate which was incorrect. And also whatever medicines they use, they were also wrong because it was based on an assumption that this particular medicine was useful for this disease X. This particular medicine was useful for this disease Y, and so on. But nothing was proved to show that this particular medicine was really effective in the treating disease X or Y. So as you all can see, they were just false theories, false conjectures, false postulates or hypotheses that were put up. So during the Hahnemann era, there was a lot of wrongdoing of facts, or the facts were misplaced. So the general public did not know about it, but it was during Hahnemann's time when he started discovering homeopathy, he found out that all these pathies, they did not get the correct result. Why? Because it was based on a false conjecture or a false theory. Therefore, theorizing, hypotheses, and false conjectures were ruling the day of the different pathies. Now, something about John Stuart Mill. John Stuart Mill was born on 20th May 1806 at 13 Rodney Street, Pentonville, London in 1806. He died on 7th May 1873. Let us know something more about him. He was the eldest son of the British historian, economist, and philosopher James Mill. He grew up in a strict household under a firm father and was required to learn history, Greek, Latin, mathematics, and economy theory at a very young age. Much of John Stuart Mill's beliefs, thoughts, and influential works can be attributed to his upbringing and the ideology taught to him by his father James Mill. John Stuart Mill was an influential philosopher, economist, politician, and senior official in the East India Company. He combined economics with philosophy. So, after knowing something about these two personalities, inductive logic was also used by Dr. Hahnemann. Inductive logic deals with the facts, with reality, and the truth. It is the opposite of deductive logic. So in inductive logic, whatever reality is there, whatever things are in front of us, the facts, or whatever truth is there, that we are taking up. In deductive logic, it goes on argumentation. We go on arguing from a broad base, and then we come down to a final conclusion. And in deductive logic, it doesn't deal with facts, nor the reality, nor the truth. It is totally the opposite. This we will see in my next video when I do it on deductive logic. Its primary purpose is discovery and the use of truth. So inductive logic, the primary purpose of inductive logic is to discover something, and by the use of the truthful means. Hence, it deals with experimentation, verification, and experience. So if you want to discover something, you have to experiment it, you have to verify it, and also with your own experience, you have to see it properly, what is right and what is wrong. Therefore, the first requirement of inductive logic is that the premise must be true. So whatever premise you're taking or whatever fact you're taking, it has to be correct or it has to be true. Hence, the result will be correct, which is based on true and valid observation of facts. So if your premise is correct or if your premise is true, then whatever observations you will do or whatever inference you will do, or the result also will be true because it is valid on certain observations which are based on facts. If need arises, it can be based upon pure experimentation. So if you want to still further elaborate on it, you can experiment and find out what is right. Thus the statement, it deals with experimentation, verification, and experience. So in the previous slide, I told you that it deals with experimentation, verification, and experience. So here I have explained to you that the premise must be true, then only your inference will be true, and if necessary, you can do further experimentation in order to support your claim. Thus, in inductive logic, it is complete without any breaks from premise to a conclusion. So therefore, when you apply inductive logic, it is a continuous process. There is no breaks from the premise to a conclusion, as compared to the deductive logic, where you go on arguing until and unless you come down to some sort of an sentence which is less than the main sentence. This I'll explain to you when I do the deductive logic. So in inductive logic, it is complete without any breaks from a premise to a conclusion. We must not reason from a hypothesis nor jump to a conclusion. So there is out in inductive logic, there is no hypothesis and we cannot jump to a conclusion. We must not do false reasoning. Similarly, we also must not do false reasoning. Thus, the road to greater unknown is dark and full of pitfalls. So if you form a hypothesis, or if you jump to a conclusion, or if you do false reasoning, then what will happen? The greater unknown is dark and full of pitfalls. The road to the greater unknown is dark and full of pitfalls if you have a false hypothesis, if you do false reasoning. But if and when you use the inductive logic, it says that the electric lamp of inductive logic lights the way to safety from the known into the unknown. So inductive logic is just like you can compare it to an electric lamp, which throws light from the known into the unknown. Homeopathy is based on inductive philosophy. The premise is founded upon truth. So whatever premise is there, it is founded upon truth. The conclusion is also consistent with the premise. So since the premise is founded on truth, the conclusion also will be correct. Thus, inductive generalization is done from the data which has been derived from direct observation of facts of pure experimentation. So therefore, when we apply inductive logic, we are doing the inductive generalization from whatever data we have got from direct observations or from the experiments which we are conducting. Well, homeopathy is also based on deductive logic, which we shall see later on in the video of deductive logic. So please remember, homeopathy is based both on inductive as well as on deductive logic. So it is a misnomer to say that homeopathy is only based on inductive logic. Kindly remember, it is based on both inductive and deductive logic. So that's all for this part. The next part will be coming up soon, part 2 about deductive logic. Thank you very much.